Chapter 7: Conservation of Plants and Animals. Introduction. Our Earth is home to a countless number of living organisms of various types. They are found in variety of places such as forests, deserts, rivers, oceans, hot springs, and polar regions. Increasing population of humans in the world is disturbing the habitat of many of these living organisms. Biodiversity. There are many types of living organisms found in a habitat. These include plants, animals, and microorganisms. The number of species of living organism varies from habitat to habitat, while there can be thousands of species of plants and animals in a rainforest. The number of species in a polar habitat will be much lower. All the species of plants and animals found in a habitat are called its flora and fauna, respectively. The variety of all kinds of living organisms in a region is called its biodiversity. It is defined as the variety of organisms that exist in a habitat, their relationship with each other and the environment. Biodiversity of a region, along with the abiotic components like air, water, soil, and sunlight, etc., together make its ecosystem. India is a country with rich biodiversity. There are different types of habitats such as mountains, deserts, wetlands, and rainforests. The flora and fauna existing in these habitats are very important resources for us. Excessive use of these resources in the recent decades has disturbed the ecosystem. It has made the survival of many plants and animals very difficult. As a result, many species have become extinct and many more are in grave danger of extinction.
Deforestation. Forests are the precious wealth of a country. They are habitat to many organisms and provide us with many useful things. Some uses of forests are as follows. They provide wood for various purposes such as making paper, furniture, and houses. They provide wood to be used as fuel. They provide shelter and food to many animals. They provide many herbs and other medicinal plants. They provide useful things like rubber and resins. They are a source of livelihood for tribal people living in the forests. They help to maintain the oxygen-carbon dioxide balance by photosynthesis. They maintain the water vapor in the air by transpiration. The roots of the trees hold on to the soil and prevent soil erosion. They help to retain rainwater for a longer time, which in turn maintains the water table. Lots of forest cover in the world has been cut to provide more space for human activities. Causes of deforestation. The process of continuous degradation of forest habitat due to natural or human-related causes is called deforestation. The main reasons for deforestation are as follows. Creating more land for cultivation so that more food can be produced for the increasing population. Creating more space for people to live, that is urbanization. Requirement of wood for making furniture or as fuel. Overgrazing by cattle. When cattle graze in the forest, they trample many small plants and eat the rest. They eat all the leaves of the shrubs. Natural causes such as forest fires and severe droughts.
Consequences of deforestation. Deforestation disturbs the ecosystem. It leads to disturbed weather patterns and increases the chances of natural calamities such as floods and droughts.
Few important consequences of deforestation are as follows.
Due to falling of trees, there is less utilization of CO2, which increases the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. This leads to global warming as CO2 traps the heat rays reflected by the Earth. Due to increase in temperature, the water cycle gets disturbed and the amount of rainfall decreases. This results in drought. Due to deforestation, soil is left loose and becomes prone to being eroded by wind and water. Excessive erosion reduces fertility of soil and slowly the region gets converted into a desert. This is known as desertification. Due to deforestation, the natural habitat of many animals and birds get destroyed. Due to decrease in the number of trees, the rainwater that falls on the ground does not get absorbed. This excess water also contributes to flood. When there are no trees to hold the rainwater, the water table decreases. Wildlife. Human activities have also affected the survival of many wild animals. Many of the species are already extinct and many others are decreasing at an alarming rate. Pollution adversely affects all the plants and animals. Natural disasters such as earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, droughts, cyclones, etc. also reduces the number of plants and animals in many areas. Human and some natural activities have resulted in increase in climatic temperature. This is called global warming, and it has affected many species. Those who are not able to adjust to the changes have either become extinct or are now threatened. Excessive killing of animals for their skin, meat, and body parts is called poaching. It also affects survival of many species such as tiger, blue whale, etc. In order to maintain the diversity of organisms, conservation has to be undertaken.
Conservation. Conservation is the preservation and careful management of plants and animal species so as to prevent their extinction. Before discussing various issues concerning biodiversity and conservation, let us discuss some common terms associated with them. Species. The term species refers to a group or class of animals or plants having certain common and permanent characteristics that clearly distinguish it from other groups. Habitat. The natural environment of a plant or animal species where it lives, reproduces, and thrives naturally is known as its habitat. Endemic species. Plant and animal species confined to a specific geographical area are called endemic species. For example, Asiatic lions are endemic to Gir National Park in Gujarat. Extinct species. Species that no longer exist anywhere on the earth are called extinct species. For example, dinosaurs. Endangered species. Species that are at a high risk of getting extinct in their habitat are called endangered species. Vulnerable species. Species that exist in low numbers and may become endangered because of destruction of their natural habitats, overexploitation, and other environmental disturbances are called vulnerable species. Threatened species. Both vulnerable and endangered species together are described as threatened species. For example, Bengal tiger, Siberian tiger, African elephants, etc. In all countries, government agencies take care of the forests and animals. The government lays down rules, methods and policies to protect and conserve them. It also encourages people and societies to help implement these rules and regulations. To protect our flora and fauna and their habitats, protected areas called sanctuaries, biosphere reserves and national parks have been earmarked. Biosphere reserves. These are the areas meant for conservation of biodiversity.
A biosphere is a large area in which the plant and animal resources, the wildlife and the tribal people of that area are protected.
Forest reserves. These are large areas of forest cover that are protected from human exploitation. These areas have been reserved so as to prevent deforestation, protect food and shelter meant for wildlife, undertake reforestation. Wildlife sanctuaries. These provide protection and suitable living condition to wild animals. In these areas, killing, poaching or capturing of animals is strictly prohibited. Some of the threatened wild animals such as marsh crocodiles, gharial, black buck, etc. are protected and preserved in our wildlife sanctuaries. National parks. These are large and diverse enough to protect a whole set of ecosystems. They preserve flora, fauna, landscape and historic objects of an area. Satpura National Park is the first reserve forest of India. There are about 100 national parks in India. Zoological parks and botanical gardens. Zoos play a major role in creating awareness about the need to conserve nature. Few of the zoos serve as breeding centers for some rare or endangered animals. Botanical gardens have been established to conserve rare and threatened plant species. These also serve as a seed bank and have reserves of seeds of several species of plants. Project Tiger. One of the largest conservation programs in India is Project Tiger, which was launched in April 1973. The idea behind this project was to identify and list the sites that were natural habitats of tigers and devising the ways of restoring them so as to protect India's national animal from getting extinct. In the beginning, 9 sites were identified all over India as tiger reserves. Over the years, the project has helped in the recovery of the habitat and consequent increase in the tiger population in the reserve areas. Red Data Book. The IUCN, or International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, works towards assessing the global conservation status of plants and animal species. It maintains a comprehensive list known as the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. The species are classified into 9 categories on the basis of criteria such as the rate of decline, population size, area of geographical distribution, etc. The categories are as follows: extinct, extinct in the wild, critically endangered, endangered, vulnerable, near threatened, least concern, data deficient, not evaluated. Few of the animals listed in the red list are blue whale, African elephant, etc. IUCN also publishes a catalogue called the Red Data Book, which lists rare species and those in danger of extinction.
Migration. The movement of animals in large numbers from a place of declining food and resources to another place with more food and resources during a year is called migration. Many birds fly to faraway areas every year during a particular time because of climatic changes. They fly for laying eggs as the weather in their natural habitats becomes unsuitable. These birds cover long distances to reach another land and are called migratory birds. For example, the Siberian crane.
Recycling of paper. The process of recycling paper is one of the ways of conserving trees. It takes 17 full-grown trees to make 1 ton of paper.
Therefore, there is a need to save paper.
Paper can be and should be recycled. By recycling, in addition to saving trees, we can save energy and also save water, which is required for manufacturing paper. Waste paper can be made into useful products such as packing, writing paper, etc.
Reforestation. Reforestation is the process of restocking of the destroyed forests by planting new trees. The trees planted should be of the same species which were found in that forest. In nature,
Reforestation takes place on its own.